Bluey is an incredibly popular cartoon, and ever since its debut, the show has gone through several changes, both in its visuals and in its storyline. But have you noticed how much Bluey has grown throughout the episodes? And all the changes that have made the series even more special? Baby. We all start out as babies at some point in our lives. After all, that's the very first stage. But a lot of people don't even remember much from that time. Luckily, Bluey is such a complete show that we get to take a closer look at the early moments of the world's most famous little blue pup. In the episode Baby Race, we get to see what it was like when Bandit's daughter started learning how to walk, and it wasn't easy at all. Unlike some of the other kids, Bluey took a little longer to take her first steps, which made Chili feel a bit guilty. But as the doctor said in that episode, that's totally normal for kids. After all, they don't come with an instruction manual. They all learn at their own pace. Even at this early stage, you can already see how curious Bluey is and how much fun she has with her dad's goofy antics. A perfect example is the scene where he and Chili are trying to help her crawl, but Bandit ends up hurting his knee, and baby Bluey bursts out laughing. In the end, the episode makes it clear that every child has their own rhythm when it comes to learning, and that's absolutely fine. Chili felt bad because while Bluey was still figuring out how to walk, Judo was practically running. You can also see how this stage of Chili's eldest daughter's life is full of discoveries and hilarious moments. Bandit, as always, tries his best to help out, but he keeps ending up in funny situations that get everyone laughing, including Bluey. And what about you? Have you noticed how much Bluey has grown through each stage of life and how the show has been showing us all of it? So stick with us as we follow every step of this amazing little blue dog's journey. Let's dive even deeper into the secrets of Bluey's world. Childhood. Most of the show takes place when Bluey is 6 years old, and it's during this time that we really get to know her personality. Throughout the episodes, we see her learning about life, building new skills, and exploring the world around her through play. Unlike her younger sister, Bingo, who's more mellow, Bluey loves leading games and creating elaborate stories. She's always coming up with new games and getting into fun adventures with her parents, her friends, and Bingo. You can really see this in the circus episode, where the kids all get together to play and Hercules, a bigger and taller dog, wants to take charge of the game. But Chili's eldest daughter manages to show him that no one should be the boss over others. That was a major sign of maturity, and a great example of how capable she is when dealing with tricky situations. By encouraging mutual respect and making sure everyone gets to join in, she shows a really strong understanding of how to get along and solve problems. Super important skills for adult life. The series uses playtime as a way to show how kids grow, and at 6 years old, Bluey is fully immersed in this stage. At this age, Bluey has a very close bond with her parents, who are always supporting her imagination and helping her grow up in a healthy, happy way. Her relationship with Bingo is also something really special. Even though they're different, they support each other and share tons of important moments together. But it wasn't always like that. Before we keep following Bandit's oldest daughter through her different life phases, drop a comment below that says, Bluey! Birthday. One of the most memorable moments in Bluey's journey happens in the episode Pass the Parcel, where we finally see Bluey turning 7. That might seem like a small detail, but it's actually a big deal. Throughout the show, Bluey stays 6 years old, and this little age change marks a big step in her growth. Right at the start, we can see a bit of a generation clash, shown in the way the game is played and the way everyone gets a prize. This really annoyed Pat, Lucky's dad, because in his opinion, the kids weren't playing the game the right way. At first, there was a lot of pushback, but after a lot of insistence, the kids finally learned how to lose. And that's such a valuable lesson to carry into adulthood, something our main character definitely picked up on. After all, not everyone wins every time, but if learning to lose was already tough, just imagine what's coming next. As time goes on, playtime starts to change, responsibilities grow, and new questions start to pop up. If losing was already hard to deal with, just wait for the challenges that come with being a teenager. Teenage years. Now moving into the next chapter in our beloved Bluey's life, we arrive at the end of the episode Camping, one of the most emotional moments in the entire show. That's when we see Bluey as a teenager. This episode is extra special because it shows one of Bandit's daughter's first real experiences with friendship and goodbyes, leaving us with a deep message about how time passes and the bonds we make along the way. The story begins with Bluey spending a few days at a campsite with her family. There, she meets Jean-Luc, a little Labrador pup who speaks French. Even though she can't understand what he says, they quickly form a sweet, genuine friendship. Together, they explore the forest, build forts, and pretend to hunt a wild pig. But then, the trip ends, and all of a sudden, Bluey finds out Jean-Luc left without saying goodbye. The feeling of loss and frustration is obvious, but her mom, Chili, comforts her, explaining that sometimes in life, we meet special people who are only with us for a little while before they go down a different path. But after all that, the most touching moment comes at the end of the episode, when we get a quick glimpse into the future. We see an older Bluey, now a teenager, sitting under the tree they planted together years earlier. Suddenly, we hear someone call her name, and when she turns around, we see Jean-Luc, now grown up too, waving at her. This powerful moment suggests that even after all that time, fate brings the two friends back together. Camping is one of the episodes that talks the most about growing up in the series. The Bluey we met at 6 is already starting to grow and change, and this quick look into the future reminds us that, just like her, we all move forward, but the memories and feelings we lived through will always stay with us. And now's the perfect time for those of you who haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any Bluey animation slip-ups. Graduate Bluey. In the episode, surprise, we get a glimpse into Bluey's future through a photo frame showing that she graduated from college. It's a quick moment, but for the more observant fans, it hits hard, because it's one of the few solid clues we've ever had about what Bluey's life is like as a grown-up. The series has always handled the theme of growing up in a gentle, unhurried way, without jumping too far ahead in time. That's why seeing even a small detail like this within an episode sparks so much emotion and curiosity. The photo frame is a quiet clue that, at some point, Bluey grew up, made it through her teenage years, and reached adulthood, achieving something huge in her life. There's no explanation, no dialogue, no flashback, and that's exactly what makes it so special. It also gets fans wondering what career path Bluey chose, since she clearly loves books and has great communication and leadership skills. Did she become a teacher for pups like Calypso, or maybe an architect? What really matters is that no matter what the creators decided, Bluey has the potential to thrive in any career that requires those abilities. The photo frame also reinforces one of the central themes of the show. Time moves on, and we all grow up, even if the series keeps us in Bluey's childhood for a long time. This small moment is a reminder that, just like Bluey, all kids eventually grow out of this phase and step into new ones. Life has many stages, and each one comes with its own lessons. It might seem like a subtle detail at first, but for anyone who's been following the show closely, it's packed with emotion. The oldest daughter of Bandit and Chili, the little pup full of imagination and curiosity, will one day become an adult. Kids. In the same episode, Surprise, there's a deeply symbolic moment that suggests Bluey not only grew up, but also became a mom. This reveal happens in a very subtle way, with no direct explanation, as is often the case in the series. It leaves room for interpretation and a lot of emotion. During the episode, while we're still seeing scenes in the present, a puppy who looks a lot like Bluey's older self appears at the front door of the Healer house. The shot is brief, but incredibly meaningful. It strongly suggests that this is Bluey's child. There's no dialogue, no extra context, but that moment being included was clearly intentional. The idea of Bandit's daughter becoming a mom touches on one of the deepest parts of the show, the circle of life. Throughout the series, we've followed her relationship with her parents, Bandit and Chili, and watched how they've helped her grow. But now, other questions start to come up. What career did she choose? Who did she marry? Does she have only one pup? Fans have a big soft spot for the idea of Bluey and Mackenzie ending up together, which would be amazing. After all, they've known each other since they were little, and their families are close, as we've seen in many episodes. Still, there are those who prefer Jean-Luc. He could be a pretty great match for Chili's oldest daughter, too. And when it comes to kids, will she have more than one or two, keeping with the family tradition? Don't forget that her breed has a harder time having puppies, like in the case of Aunt Brandy. Just like the series showed Bluey growing up slowly, this little peek into her future suggests that she'll continue to be the same curious, loving, and playful dog we all fell in love with. Only now, it'll be her turn to guide a whole new generation. The pilot. Bluey officially launched in 2018, but before that, there were actually 2 pilot episodes. That's right. Unlike most cartoons, which usually just have one, the creators wanted to make the show as perfect as possible. And that extra care is obvious in the quality of the scenes and the depth of the characters. In the 2016 pilot, we can notice a lot of differences. From how the characters look to the age of the main character, who seems noticeably younger than the Bluey we know today. If they had stuck with that version, we probably never would have met Bingo, or gotten all those beloved games we now can't imagine the show without. Watching Bluey grow and seeing how her story unfolds is definitely a fun way to learn about all the stages of life. If you love Bluey's World, we've got 2 awesome videos you'll definitely want to check out. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!